on paper, this looks like a straightforward path because you go your school to Catholic institutions, you get a BA in English from the State University of Albany, and then an MA in children's literature from Simmons College, and a Ph.D. in English and American literature from Tufts University. So you're focused right away. And then in 1979, you become a professor and a co-director at the Simmons College Center for the Study of Children's Literature. So that looks like a relatively straight path from there to you and I talking tonight about your 40 books over 44 years. It appears like a fairly straight line. I don't know if the experience was quite like that. When do you know that children's literature is not the only thing you want to write? Obviously, there's plenty of adult novels, but that is going to be your focus.
Well, I might have been dedicated, but I wasn't particularly smart. And I mean, I was good in school, but when I wrote a book, I got the idea when I was in high school, and I wrote it sort of in the summer between college years because I was bored. I had a job of being a film projectionist at an amusement park, and I would get the film going, and then I would have 25 minutes before I had to change the reels, and then another 20 minutes before I had to take it off and turn the lights on in the theater so everybody could move out, and then do it again. I did it 4 times a day. And in all that time, I had to stay there. I had to stay in the theater in case the film broke or something. So I would sit on the stairs outside the projection booth with a notebook, and I wrote my first novel that summer, just in a stairwell at an amusement park, because I was all alone in the theater. I was the only one there. And the thing is, I might have been industrious, and I might have been inventive, but I was not the brightest banana in the bunch, because this novel was a kind of magic story, and the main character was about 12, and it was a chapter book. But I didn't even really consider that it was a children's book. I just thought I was a grown-up, and I was writing a book about a 12-year-old boy who was having magic adventures. And so when I was in college, and I looked at it and I thought, well, this is, it may not be good, but there are books published that are not as good, things I've seen in print. So maybe this is good enough to publish. How do I know? I won't know until I try. So I spent about a year typing it up because I wasn't a very good typist. And I did not keep a carbon copy, and this was before the days of computers. So I typed up, there was only 1 copy of Pages, and that was it. The whole book was there. And I sent it off to the publishing, to the adult department of a publishing house. And the adult department didn't turn it down, but they wrote me a letter and said, thank you for your submission of this book. We have sent it to our children's department. And I thought, oh, is it a children's book? Well, of course it was a children's book. It was about a 12-year-old boy who was having adventures with a magic lion and all the, it was very derivative of my favorite books. But so as I say, I wasn't John Lennon. I was the janitor, in the scenes. But I did keep my hand at my work. The thing is, once it was sent to a children's publishing house, the children's arm of this publishing house, I then looked back at my life and I thought, oh, I guess I always have really loved children's books. And I guess I was writing a children's book without even thinking about it. I mean, there was no adult material in that book, believe me. There was not much philosophy. There was nothing extreme about it. It was a child and his friend and his family having magic adventures and getting a little trouble and saving the day at the end. So I guess I always did care about children as readers without even knowing it. But you're right, Rob. I've had friends who have said to me, you are unusual, Gregory, in that you did seem to know what you wanted to do really early on, and you didn't dither, and you didn't dally, and you didn't sputter, and you weren't a dilettante. You didn't try this and try that. You just, pulled up the chair to the nearest coffee table and leaned over, got some paper, and started to work. How lucky you are. And it's true, I was lucky. I didn't try, real estate. I didn't try, um, commercial banking. I didn't try selling shoes. I didn't go into the army or the priesthood or any other things I might have done. I just wanted to write stories, so I wrote stories. In a way, that makes me seem, wow, you really knew yourself, didn't you? But in another way, it's like, no, I really only ever had one idea. That was the only thing I ever wanted to do. I was never tempted to do anything else because I couldn't ever think of anything else to do. And that's all I wanted to do.
It doesn't seem to have bothered you.
No, because I loved it. I was sad, in fourth grade when I wrote a story called The Hotel Bomb. I was very delighted with my work and thought, oh, this is good. Now I'll write another one and I'll call it Pearl Harbor. And, so I launched myself just by delight, by having pleasure at seeing finished product. How did you get started writing?
I think first grade, I told a story into a tape recorder and played it for the class, and everybody really liked it and said, "You're good at this. You should tell more stories." I thought, well, I'll write them down. And I learned how to use an early Macintosh classic computer just to write a story. So I think for some of us, it comes quite early. It just says, yes, this for whatever reason, this is how your mind works. It bends this way.
Right.
Come along, and we'll see where this adventure takes us.